So, I've been watching this video from Ali Abdaal. There's a guy that I watch all the time. Actually, I used to do it more, but nowadays life is happening, so I don't have that much time to watch it. But I was watching this video, and the title of this video actually is why you should start a YouTube even if no one watches. And that's basically what I'm starting this channel now. A little bit of context, I had a YouTube channel before. Back 10 years ago, it was in Portuguese. It was back home in Brazil where I would start this YouTube channel to talk about technology and geek stuff. And then it worked for a couple of years, but then I decided to stop because I was not necessarily feeling purpose of recording. I needed to get a job, I needed to focus on my career, and then I didn't have that much time and motivation also to start and continue working on my YouTube channel. But this is something that kind of stuck at the back of my mind all the time, and I tried to restart the YouTube channel, but then I just stopped. I feel that most part of it is due to the lack of imposing myself some goals and some higher objectives that I want to reach and not necessarily focusing on what should be done. This is one fact about me. This is something that happens quite a lot in business ideas that I have and other things. So I do feel that this is something that I could work out for myself. And that goes in line also with Ali, with what he mentions during this video, that when you expose yourself out there on YouTube, you actually let your ego out and just record your true self to people online, to let them judge you for whatever reasons they might think of you. And I think that's a good exercise actually, and YouTube changed my life for a reason. If we rewind back to 2012, maybe 2012, I was starting this YouTube channel. I was focusing on getting gadgets and reviewing gadgets and making some app reviews and recommendations for people back in Brazil. We didn't have that much of a tech community back then. We did have some few YouTubers that were doing this kind of certain type of content all the time, and they are still doing that, and that's good for them. Mateus, Gabriel, Marques, and all of other YouTubers that I met back then in Brazil by the time that I was also recording and doing this kind of content. But I think that back then I didn't have that clear vision that that could become like a proper work or something to do with that. I was just doing that for fun because that was something that I really liked, and that worked for a while. I had back then 50 or 60,000 subscribers. It was huge, at least for me. I was coming from a small town. My accent in Portuguese is kind of different from what the mainstream media is usually used to listen. So I kind of face a lot of criticism. We can see that now. I can see that in a different way, which is not a good way. But that was not something that kind of got in the way why I stopped making those videos. But now I want to focus and to say what really made me a better person because I started a YouTube channel back then. So I'm a very shy person, and usually I didn't have that much interaction with people. I was not necessarily comfortable talking with people and also speaking myself out and also sharing my thoughts. But since I was kind of used to recording as I'm doing right now, having a camera and talking to the camera, that kind of gave me this ability for my personal growth regarding communication and teaching and explaining things in a better way for people. On top of that, I also kind of learned how to deal with criticism and also with bad comments and good comments, and also people follow me all the time on Instagram and other social media platforms. This is something that I wasn't looking for, but then I had to manage to get that kind of thing going on and work in the best way possible for me not to get too distracted with my real life, and also pay attention to the followers and friends that I made through this YouTube channel that I had back then. But getting back to the communication point, nowadays I'm a UX and UI instructor in a local college here in Vancouver. And as you can imagine, I have to be able to communicate all the time in English, in a different language. That's not my first language, as you can probably tell by my accent. And looking back, probably if I didn't took that step to start a YouTube channel without proper training or something to do with that, and just expose myself there and be able to share my real content and what I was doing back then. That's something that I believe, that is something that I really like talking about it. If you put me to explain something about science or let's say universe and biologic stuff and I don't know, cars, maybe I'm not going to be the person that it's going to explain as best as they can, because probably I wouldn't be the right person to talk about that. But since I was talking about technology and something that I really liked, I think that having that kind of connection between the content and also exposing myself to express my own thoughts and my own opinions, because back then I usually was doing tech reviews, and sometimes tech reviews are something that is very particular from your own perspective and experience with a product, with a service or app. I was able to connect my words, my thoughts, and express myself in a better way right in front of the camera, and later on in front of other people in real life, in real audiences, making some classes, preparing some classes at university back then in Brazil, also talking in public, pitching my projects to other stakeholders, convincing people to make part of some projects, and also being a leader in some ways in some of my professional design projects. Nowadays, it's been almost 8 months since I started teaching, and it's been a rewarding experience as well, because you have to keep people motivated and pay attention to what you have to say, and also seeing their evolution is quite important. And for me at least, it's something that I can look back and say, okay, if I didn't start that YouTube channel back then, back 10 years ago, probably I wouldn't be experiencing this kind of feeling and rewarding feeling that is seeing people evolving and creating better products, because that's how I can have some impact in their life. So yeah, I wanted to record this video. This is going to be my first video here on YouTube, but I wanted to just reflect back on what I saw in Ali's video, and how important it is for you to create a YouTube channel, and how you can learn a lot of different skills and have a skill set improved by just exposing yourself out there and recording content that maybe you think that people won't necessarily see it, or that it's not too important for your audience. But yeah, this is my first YouTube video. I will try to keep up with this channel. I'm not going to say the direction that I'm going to head, but I will try to experience the best as I can and just try to come up with videos that are going to be helpful for other people to watch it. That's my main reason why I'm doing that. Yeah, my name is Marques, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.